Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, live. Facebook, Instagram, all over the place. And I got to lower my volume on Insta. I totally forgot about that because I'm echoing off my own self.
Right.
So let's lower these. There we go. We're back live. Let's see. Am I losing my mind? It sounds absolutely excellent. Can we hear each other and we're not like echoing off too much?
Maybe we are echoing a little bit.
Let's see. So we'll lower. I'll turn my volume off. And so my volume is off here. I think we gotta mute your volume on Insta, my good man.
Give me 1 second, everybody.
A lot better than the last time we did this, but still we're on. And for those people that are watching us live on Facebook or the Frankson Facebook page, HAL, we're much better now. We're not getting the echo. We worked that out. That was good. Welcome.
Technics there, all right.
Yeah, always a little bit of technical difficulties when we work together, but we're back and we're live. I'm really excited to have my good friend Max Garcia with me. Max, you're a legend. When I asked you last time we were on, which was for those people that missed it, April 28th, okay, right around everything was getting crazy with COVID. I asked Max to join us, and I was shocked when he agreed to join me. I mean, like, I don't know why anyone would, when people come on the show, I'm always a little bit shocked. But Max, thank you for joining us. Retired Sergeant Major. I don't want to get too much into your introduction because I want you to give us the intro about yourself. So welcome, Mac, and tell us about yourself again.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks again for having me, Nick. And I really don't want to talk about myself too much, but the short version about me is that I just finished 24 years in the U.S. Marines about 2 years ago and moved to Australia about a year and a half ago. And since then, I've been doing motivational speaking and life coaching.
Legendary. And I've known you the first day you landed in this country. You and I connected. We hit it off like wildfire, and I'm attracted to people that are like myself, high energy, high value, quality people that you can count on and always have your back. And I know that I got that in you, and you know that you got that in me. It's really exciting to have you on this. Amazon best-selling author, legendary book that you wrote. I love the background now. You got the America and Australia mesh going on. It looks really good.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it much. Thank you for having me.
A little bit more relaxed than it was last time. Last time we were a little bit stressed out. And as people are starting to join us and follow in, guys, tag your friends, join in, okay, the conversation. Feel free to ask questions of Max, okay, as they come in on comments. We'll start to work through those. But we're going to start off the conversation a bit and get things going as we go, okay? And this is where I want to stop. And I brought this into Max, as we started talking about where we're going to go. I asked him, I said, could you tell us a time that you had to push yourself through a tough physical or mental barrier? Now, just to pause on that for a second, last time Max was on, the conversation was so legendary, okay, that I was so fixated on the screen. You got to see I had a beard and everything. Now I got the Movember Mo going, but I was so fixated on the screen that I forgot to talk to and listen to the story that I forgot to answer questions. So this time, if you have a question, make sure you comment it. But Max, could you tell us a time that you do push yourself through a tough physical or mental barrier? Walk us through it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And like I said earlier, just so you know, everybody who's following us on Instagram here tonight, I'm speaking to the Fit Club Health and Fitness Lifestyle Group. Is that correct, Nick?
Yeah, Healthy Active Lifestyle. Fit Club Healthy Active Lifestyle on Facebook, on the Frankson page. You can see it over my head.
Yep, good. Right. So I want to make tonight about the Fit Club group and not about me. And with that, the first thing that comes to my mind when you ask me that question is the time that I climbed Mount Kinabalu in Malaysia. And to put in perspective, when I climbed Mount Kinabalu, to put in perspective, it's not huge like Mount Everest or something like that, but it's bigger than Mount Fuji. And I was there on a deployment. Even though we're Marines, we were on a Navy ship, and that's what the reason we were there. Anyways, I'm gonna turn down my volume just a little bit. And while we were there, we had the opportunity to do different tours. And one of those tours that was offered was to tour Mount Kinabalu. Now I thought it was going to be like an easy walk around, some famous mountain, and it'd be a bunch of old people in New Balance tennis shoes and khaki shorts. I thought it was going to be something easy. And so therefore I didn't prepare for it. I didn't train for it. Matter of fact, I had to be up late because I had to, police up my Marines. Anytime we have 1,000+ people in their 20s in a foreign port, you got to stay up and make sure that everybody gets back all right. So I was up till probably 3, 4 in the morning, and then up 2, 3 hours later to go on this climb. I get there, I get to the bottom of Mount Kinabalu, and I see that this thing is huge. And we get there, and they tell us that you can do 2 climbs. You can go up halfway, stay overnight, and then climb the second half the next day. Or you can go up and down in the same day. It's that long. But to do up and down on the same day, you have to do it in a certain time frame because you have to be out of the park before dark. So basically that gives you about 5.5 hours up and about 5 hours to get down. And if you're not making it the speed that they want you to, they're going to turn you around and send you back. Now, I learned something from doing this, not just to prepare better, because the climb, to be honest with you, absolutely kicked my butt. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. I'd rather run a marathon again than climb Mount Kinabalu. No joke. And so I get there, but I learned something from this climb, that if you put your ego at stake, if you put yourself at risk, your reputation at risk, the things you can do in life are astronomical, beyond what you think are possible. Because what I didn't tell you is when I got there, several of my Marines had also signed up for that tour, but maybe they knew what they were getting into and prepared. There were several people on the ship there. And then now it's an ego check. So I either don't climb it and everybody knows I chose not to climb it, or even worse, I start the climb and don't finish it. Right. So my ego, Sergeant Major's ego, is at stake. And so I start the climb. It becomes absolutely brutal. But during this time, I realized something, because it was so physically challenging and I was so already depleted. Again, I wasn't prepared. I didn't have a hiking stick. If you've ever climbed Mount Fuji or something, you got to have a hiking stick. I wore tennis shoes to climb the mountain. And I only had just a couple small bottles of Gatorade, a couple running gels. I was very, very unprepared. And so I get going, and it was absolutely destroying me, to be honest with you. But my ego was at stake. And I realized something. 2 things you have, no matter how tough things get, physically, mentally, doesn't matter if it's financial, anything, your relationship, your health, 2 things you always have. First thing, you always have God. I promise I'm not going to preach to you guys because that's not my style. I am a little bit religious. That's the one thing you have, is you always have God. And the other thing you still have is your mind. Okay. No one can ever tell you to think what you don't want to think. No one can ever tell you to think any thoughts. You decide what you think. The other thing that majority of people have is your mouth. Okay. You have your mouth. You can say anything you want to say. So as I started to push up the mountain, as I probably got to about halfway, I learned something else, that when your body starts to shut down, the only thing you have left is God, your mind, and your mouth. Okay. So a couple things. And by the way, this is how people survive. When you hear of things like somebody's caught in an avalanche, or they're stranded out in nature, no one can find them for like a week, and somehow they survive. This is how they survive, because they still have their mind, they still have God, they still have their mouth to say empowering things to themselves. So while I was on this climb, I literally was having conversation after conversation with God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, him. And I was reaching out to help, buddy. I was having some come to Jesus moments, and my ego did not want to let me be defeated, because everyone would see me be defeated. And so I continued to push on. And slowly I start seeing the tour guides tell people, hey, you got to come back. And everybody started off quick. I knew better to at least pace myself. And I start passing people, pass somebody else, pass somebody else. And then I start seeing the tour guide sending people back. Sorry, you're going too slow. Go back. You're not going to make the time. I look behind me. Now, everybody started off kind of together, clumped together, but then everybody's stretched out. So I'm by myself. So these mental conversations I'm having with God literally start to turn into out loud conversations, almost like as if I'm talking to you right now. And I appreciate all the hearts and things I'm seeing on Instagram. I'm getting mad feedback on Instagram. Sorry, I can't comment back to you guys because the phone's far away so that we could do both at the same time. I'm not high tech enough. Anyway, so my conversations with God literally start becoming out loud, like as if he's in the room, like I'm in the room with you guys right now. And then I remembered something that I learned from the movie called The Secret. I highly believe in this movie so much that I wrote a book with one of the people in it. And that is ask, believe, and receive. And most people, unfortunately, are saying ask, doubt, hope, doubt, if, maybe, possibly, like to, no, and then they don't receive. So I knew I had to believe. I knew I had to create a strong belief for myself. So once I asked God, rather than doubting, then I started thanking, giving gratitude. Thank you for giving me this strength. Thank you for giving me this extra boost. Thank you for this extra Gatorade that I didn't realize I had, or this person that I came across that helped me, that gave me a supplement or a puff of oxygen. Because once you got up so high, I mean, literally we were above the clouds once we got probably halfway. It's high altitude, low oxygen, started getting sick, all this stuff. Anyways, I went from, thank you over and over again for helping me do this and a lot of gratitude. Then I started doing positive affirmations on myself, something I had learned. And this is, something I'll explain to you, that you can do this anytime you have any situation in your life that you want to change almost immediately. Because again, you have your mouth, but most people say self-defeating things to themselves. I hear people say things like this. So the lottery goes, or the raffle ticket goes, and people say, oh, I never win anything. Or they say, I don't have a good memory. What was your name again? I'm sorry, I don't have a good memory. They say, oh, I can't do math to save my butt, or whatever it is. Most people are speaking self-defeating things. So I started, this is where I really learned how to harness the power of affirmations. And if you message me, I'll teach you more I'll send you some information about this. So I started saying things like, I'm the best climber on this mountain. I have the strongest legs out here. I have superhuman strength. And before I knew it, it was like, I got like a second wind, a third wind. And before I knew it, I was like, okay, I could actually see myself completing this. And anyways, Nick, I know I talk too much, buddy. I'll shut up for a second and let you talk. You get me going. I want to give everybody as much as I possibly can out of our time together, but I'll let you talk for a minute. That, to answer your question, Mount Kinabalu, that was the time, buddy.
I love listening to your stories. I said this last time. You get a bit of echo, but I said this last time. I could listen to your stories all day, and I remember you said that last time, affirmations, and you brought it up. And I remember one of the people that we had, that seen you on our program, and came again and said, how can I ask me? He's like, how can I, get involved in this? And, send them to you, and you've done, some personal coaching with them. Right. And we've gone down that road. And I remember you talked about the affirmations. You talked about this, correct me if I'm wrong, about like a chant that you have, or like an MP3 song or something that repeats things. I remember you told me about this, and you probably can't even remember what I'm talking about because I'm speaking.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, you have a good memory. And you know what? I actually forgot if I brought that up last time. It is a very powerful process, and it works wonders quickly. So my intent was, if I could give as much value in a little bit of time here tonight as possible, and positive affirmations and incantations make a massive difference. Now, the thing is, though, is that we all only have 24 hours in a day, and one affirmation takes X amount of seconds. I feel great. My health is getting better all the time. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better, or whatever your affirmation is. But that takes time, effort, and energy. So what I've created is a playlist of affirmations. So that's all you have to do is press play. And really, you don't even have to listen because it's targeted to hit your subconscious mind. So your conscious mind, which has doubt, fear, previous programming, and other things that will hold you back. So really, you just press play and just do whatever it is you do. Wash your clothes, cook dinner. You don't even have to pay attention to it. So if you message me, I'll gladly send you the link to that list of positive affirmations that I created, and it will help you in a wide variety of areas, from confidence to your finances. I also have one for students. If anybody here is in college or something, you want something to help you pass a test. I pretty much developed a hack to almost anything.
I love it. I mean, I do the same thing, whether it's, going into a meeting or interviews or et cetera, et cetera. You're at that time, we had a workout a couple weeks ago that Coach Dan dragged us to and the ground. Okay. Like it was exhausting. And I remember telling myself, ignore everybody else. You got this. You're doing better than everybody else. And getting into that space to help you get through your mind, because exactly like you said, like you're stuck inside your mind. And if you let that negative thought get in, it's going to make it that much harder for you to get through. And if you're going to be negative, you're going to make it that much harder for yourself. So I mean, like it's
check this out. We all think approximately 40 to 60,000 thoughts a day. Literally 40 to 60,000 thoughts a day, or 1,500 words per minute, whizzing through your mind, telling you who you are, who you're not, what you can and cannot do, where you've been, where you're going, where you want to go. But for most people, 90% of those thoughts are on the past, and 90% of those thoughts are in parts of the past that really we'd rather forget, because it's a lot easier to see something in your mind, on the screen of your mind, that's already happened, that you're scared of, than it is to create something on the screen of your mind of what you want. This is one thing I work with people a lot on in coaching and speaking.
That's amazing. I mean, like I can't. I totally agree. And for those people that are, watching us here on the HL group on the Fraction page, or, live on Insta, and you want to be part of this, we're going to talk about it more at the end, but like what Max can bring to you, not only in your corporate, but your personal life, etc. We'll talk about that more at the end. Let's get on to topic number 2 here that I just popped up. Tell us a story, a way that you've trained, because you were a brain just shut off. Drill sergeant. There you go. Drill sergeant. You're a drill sergeant, correct?
Yeah, I was a drill instructor for 2 tours, 3 years each. Yeah.
So you trained, more people have been trained under your hat than possibly, definitely than people that I've probably am friends with on Facebook, including people on Insta. But have a time that you've trained, officers or people to push through a hard time. Like we talk about these affirmations and how they help people, but what's a way that another way that you've helped them as leaders to push through, a difficult time? Because as Sergeant Major, you have people underneath you that are going through difficult times, right? And officers that are underneath you that are going through difficult times, and people that you've coached that are going through difficult times, that are leading leaders, as in corporate America or corporate Australia. What's a strategy that you work with people to help others to get through that difficult time?
Right. Well, like you mentioned, Nick, because of my time being a sergeant major, especially, and being comfortable coaching, who knows, captains, colonels, sergeants, really senior people, I developed a passion for that. And speaking to them, we had 1,200 Marines in our battalion, and so we used to talk to them every week, pretty much. So got really comfortable talking to large groups of people, and quite frankly, I just absolutely loved it. And I'd get invited to speak at balls, banquets, award ceremonies, leadership courses, graduations, whatever, and I just love that. And one of the things I learned, I used to think that, or at least it felt to me like life is like a roller coaster. Really miserable day, really happy day, or really miserable morning. If you're like me and you're not a morning person, really great afternoon. I mean, literally like a roller coaster, up, down, ultra miserable, ultra happy. And I used to think it was just me until I started coaching some of these people. And then I realized that it's kind of everybody. And not only that, I developed some methods to help reduce the time in the downtime and increase your hang time in the uptime. Now, one of those things I developed is and I'll show you, if you follow it, you can change almost anything fairly quickly if you follow this. I'll give a very condensed version right now. But I refer to this as, we're going to learn this in 2 steps, okay? I refer to this as the Sergeant Major Garcia 2-step. If you've ever heard me speak at a keynote presentation, I say this often.
I have.
Step
people
1.
On Instagram, I have.
Right. Step 1, you must write down your ambitions or whatever it is you want to accomplish. Most people only have this vague and mystic concept in the back of their mind of the things they want to have, do, or become, and they wonder why it never happens. We go on a vacation, or we take a course, or we attend a seminar, we get some sort of inspiration, and we go, oh yeah, that's awesome, I'm going to do that. But then we get back to kids, school, Facebook, TikTok, work, you name it, all these distractions, and we quickly forget. So you got to write down whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And just statistically speaking, once you put the pen to paper, you're so many more times likely to be successful. Let the pen be your friend is what I say. And if you're not fully sold on this, those of you out there who are in high positions or who get really busy, thanks for the comment, Daniel. People who get really busy, the real successful people tend to use a to-do list. Okay. And most people agree with me that when you have a to-do list, you get more things done with the to-do list than without. If I'm meeting someone for a coaching session and they say, oh, I'm struggling to find time to go to the gym or find time to spend with my kids, or I'm scrambled throughout the day, first thing is I'll ask them is, can you show me how you keep track of what you have to get done, your to-do list, or you use a dry erase board. Can you show me how you know what you're going to do first, second, third, as soon as you wake up? And a lot of times I get this response. Okay.
Keep it
and I know
head.
that with a million distractions in the world today and everybody gunning for our attention, especially on our phones, it's too easy to get distracted. So I recommend that you not only just use a to-do list for other people's needs, like work, but I use a to-do list for your own needs and write down what you want to accomplish. It's the same reason that here coming up, we're approaching the end of the year on December 31st, millions of people around the world will make a New Year's resolution. And I'm here to tell you guys, it is a complete waste of time, because by the time March rolls around, majority of those people, probably 99%, won't even remember what their New Year's resolution is, let alone accomplish it. I mean, especially by the time November rolls around, probably nobody will remember.
I would double down on that and say February 15th. My birthday, February 10th. I bet by February 10th, no one knows what their New Year's resolution was. I'd double down on that.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. So anyways, the point is that you got to write down what it is you want. If you contact me, I'll help you, because there is some ways to write are better than others. So that way you kind of spark your subconscious mind and use it to help you instead of against you. One of the methods I can think of off the top of my head is writing those goals in an affirmative manner. So for instance, I'm talking to the Fit Club today. Most people are joining gyms at the beginning of the year because they want to lose weight. And if your focus is on weight, that's exactly what you get more of. And you're not a loser, or you wouldn't even be watching this right now, working on your self-development. Other people will come to me for coaching and they say, oh, I want to get out of debt. I want to pay down my debts. I want to be debt-free, debt. And yet if your focus is on debt, that's exactly what you'll get more of. Good examples of your written ambitions or goals should say, I will weigh 61 kilos by said date. I don't know. I do pounds like you, Nick. I don't know about kilos. But not the queen pounds. But for all my Australians out there, I will weigh 61 kilos by said date.
Or I'm cool with 61 kilos. I'm cool with 85 kilos.
I don't know the numbers. Or for those who want to improve the financial situation, instead of saying you want to get out of debt, write down, I will pay my credit cards to zero balance by said date, or whatever the number is for you. Or I will have $10,000 in the bank. Focusing more on what you want and not what you don't want. People go to take a test and they say, hopefully I don't fail it. And your mind hears fail it, test, fail it. Next thing is, so step one, write down your ambitions. Step two, once you've written down whatever it is you want to have, do, or become in life, never think or speak of it in any other terms other than with the fullest assurance that it is yours. Stop saying things like, hopefully I'll get the promotion. Oh, if I get promoted, or hopefully things work out okay, or hopefully if I can lose the weight. Stop saying things like hope, or I'm going to try to lose weight this year. Stop speaking with doubt and start speaking with certainty. You know, if you're going into surgery tomorrow and the doctor said, okay, I'm going to put you to sleep, and, you know, I'm going to try my best. And if everything goes well, hopefully you'll be feeling better. And obviously you'd be scared to death. I learned some of this, by the way, from a guy named Marshall Silver, who taught me to eliminate specific words such as hope, try, if, can't, but, and the word hate. Okay, because these words are completely self-defeating. And unfortunately, people use them several times a day after day, week after week, fortnight after fortnight, you know, quarterly, semi-annual, annual, over and over again. And they wonder why what they don't want continues to show up. So once you've decided what you want, never think or speak about it in any other terms other than with the fullest assurance that it is yours, even if it doesn't feel right. If it doesn't feel right at first, say things like this: assuming things go to plan, I will weigh this much by this date. Assuming I get the promotion, honey, I'm going to take you on the best vacation ever. Hopefully my wife's not watching, because that means I'm going to have to go on a vacation.
You know? I don't think that'd be a problem for you guys. I think that you guys would be okay with going on a vacation. You ready to go back to America, brother?
We love to travel. So step one, you must write down your ambition. Step two, once you've written it down, never think or speak of it in any other terms other than with the fullest assurance that it is yours. Message me and I'll give you some more details on this. I'm giving you the very, very condensed version right now, since we're on just a short live here tonight. And back to you, Nick.
Yeah, no, brother, I'm not stopping you. That's perfect, because one of the guys that's in here, you know, works with us is Adam Scully. He's come through. I know you know Adam.
Yeah, I know Adam well. I just talked to him today.
Oh, he's the man.
Legend.
He's the man. He's a great guy. And Adam says to me all the time, you know, he's worked with me on taking if out of my conversation. You know, if I can do this, you know, it's like when we get to this level, when this happens, you know, when we do, that's when, you know, instead of saying if we can do it, if we can get this many people to, you know, to a Wednesday workout, if we can get this many people to boot camp, you know, and Daniel Simone and I said all the time, it's when we have this many people showing up, when we get to this, we are going to go to this. And that's, you know, what it's about. You know, Wednesday nights, you know, we started, you know, a couple weeks ago, opening a Wednesday workout in the park, you know, for everybody. And we didn't expect it to take off, but we said, when it takes off, we weren't sure if it was going to take off. We said, when it takes off, we're going to go to this. We're going to have Justin Priestley doing meditations after, you know, and that's what's happening. It just started taking off. It's been an amazing ride. Max, anybody that's interested in what Max is saying, we try not to spend too much time, you know, here on Tuesday nights getting into super detail. I like to keep it under 45 minutes, but that doesn't mean that we can't go longer. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear from Max on a regular basis, or you have more information, which, you know, he is ready to bestow on you. Okay. And believe me, just when I listen to him, I'm taken in every time. And no matter what level you're at, like Max said earlier, you know, coaching captains, coaching majors, et cetera, higher level, you can always afford to have your axe or your knife sharpened. Okay. And I talk to everybody, personal coaching. It's not just for sport. Okay. Adam Scully says it all the time. Coaching is not just a sport thing. Everyone needs it. Right here, if you're interested in talking to Max about some personal coaching, and Max, talk to us about, what do you mean by personal coaching? I mean, like, we do wellness coaching and wellness personal evaluations here, but what do you do? How do you bring that to your clients? What can you do?
Yeah, and first of all, I'll preface with saying I also have a coach that I pay for that teaches me advice as well. And I'd recommend that you never, first of all, if you just doing random things, and since I'm talking to the health and fitness club, because I think people who are in the health and fitness are the worst at this, just doing, random workouts on the workout program, but they're not saying, okay, I'll have this measurement by this date. I'll be this weight by this date, or I'll lift this many pounds by this date, or place this in this competition by this date, or whatever. I've worked with bodybuilders, even though I'm pretty far from anything of that status, but I've actually worked with bodybuilders and helped them to win some trophies and things like that. And health and fitness people are the worst. And just so you know, random work, just randomly working hard, hoping things will turn out, will produce random results. And also recommend that you don't take advice from anyone unless they've demonstrated that they have real life experience and success in something that you can relate to. But the short version, to answer your question, Nick, if someone books me for, some coaching, whether it be for a year program or even just one session, yeah, they sit down with me and we hash out whatever it is they're going through. So, if they're having, it could be mental health issues, and they're having mental health issues, we'll work on that. If they're having issues with their marriage or relationships or with their kids or finances or whatever else it is, would just highly recommend Max. All things change when you spend time with him. Oh, thanks, whoever that is. Put your name out there, whoever that is. I really appreciate it. I owe you one. Thanks for that. But I sit down with the person one-on-one, and hash out. And what I simply do is provide workable solutions that you can implement starting that day to make the difference. Because most people, here's the catch, right? If you keep doing the same things, you keep getting the same results, even if you make minor tweaks. In order to open up the next chapter of your life, here's the catch. You have to first close the last chapter. Okay. And
boom.
And if you're not fully sold on that, consider this. Whenever someone goes to get insurance, a mortgage, a job, a promotion, all of these things are based on your past performance, because for 90% of people, the next 5 years of your life will look exactly like your last unless you make a drastic change. The good news is you can make a change if you know what you're doing. So I don't know if that answers your question, Nick. Probably more than what you wanted.
That's absolutely amazing, and you're absolutely right. I've said it. Yep, absolutely. Dana Simone, you're all over. I think that is a mic drop statement. I'm totally about that. I say the same thing. I say to people that I work with, the people that I coach. Okay, the same thing. You have to close that door from what you were before if you want to be something else. Because if you keep in that same thought pattern, if you stay in that same, process that you're going through, the same morning routine, the same daily eating, et cetera, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Okay. Scully says that. Adam Scully says it to us all the time. And that's a very, very true statement. Okay, Max, yeah. I've heard you keynote speak. Okay, come to corporate events for me. Okay, for my company, for Camden Women's Shelter. I've heard you speak for the Camden Women's Shelter before. Some amazing. I've heard you speak at upstairs at Fred's. God bless that scenario. What happened there? But we're not changing that. A bunch of different speeches. What can you do at a corporate event beyond the fact that everyone's jaws on the ground and staring at you in absolute awe of the story that's going on? What can you do to bring that event to the next level?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking. So if anyone's considering hiring me for a corporate event, what I typically do is I'll sit down with the event manager and whoever some of the leadership is in that organization, and I'll create a presentation that will do several things. One, to lift the vibration of the event and get everybody excited and that kind of thing. Not in a huffy, fluffy kind of way, but just bring the vibration. The other thing I work on is helping to build unity, loyalty, esprit de corps among organizations. Most people are working for a boss or an organization that they could care less about. They're just collecting their money and going home. It's the same reason that people call in sick unnecessarily or make unnecessary claims, harassment claims, or they stab each other in the back, their coworkers. So I'll give a keynote speech that will improve things like that. Because when you have this thing called loyalty and unity, you'll have less safety issues. You'll have fewer people quitting. You have fewer people slacking at the first opportunity or goofing off at the first opportunity. You'll get people, when you create loyalty, unity, which is what I do in my speeches, your employees will die for you. They'll do anything to continue working for you. And not only that, when you have loyalty and unity in your organization, which I know how to build, not only will your employees want to work for you, their friends and family will want to come and work for you as well. So then you can pick and choose who you want. And I focus on the individual person so that the employee themselves become stronger at home, in their personal life, in their finances, in their health, in their wealth, in their relationship, whatever it is. So that way their mind, when they're at work, their mind is at work, and they know that that employer organized me, creating a sense of loyalty to the employer and the organization.
That's excellent. I've talked to you about that before, and being present in the moment. You know what I mean? And exactly what you just talked about right there. Being, if you're at work, if you're at a physical event, if you're in a mental capacity, spending that time and being in that space. Physically being in that space, and even in your mind being in that space, and that it's a difficult thing to be present in the moment. You as a father, as a coach, as a employee, all these things that you are, you're taking hats off and putting hats on at all times, and it's one thing to not be present in the moment, and that's extremely important. Especially when we're going through times of uncertainty. It's difficult to keep the your wheels not spinning in the wrong direction. Training days, Max, you do them with different companies, organizations, personal, coaching, etc. Talk us through that a bit. Last one, just talk us through that a bit.
Yeah, we do. Sometimes might get hired for your company team building day, education and development, that kind of thing. It all depends really on the needs of the company and what that company is doing. Really, I can tailor to any situation. A lot of speakers will say, "Oh, I speak about this." And one size fits all. You got to listen to what I want to speak about, regardless. For me, I go off of whatever the company's doing. Where does the CEO of that company want to go in 2021, or where does the different levels of leadership want to go, and kind of base it around that.
Okay. Legendary, ladies and gentlemen. I like at the end, with everybody, Max is one of the few people, I'll tell you this, that's come on this program, and we kind of talked about our topics a bit, beforehand, and to give them an idea where we go. But I tell you, Max, this is coming. I'm going to hit you with one out of left field that I didn't prep you with, because I like to, keep you on edge. You get the very raw Max Garcia. For those people that are watching on Insta, get ready, because I'm about to drop it here. Max, we talked about a really difficult time in your life, mentally and physically, and we talked about that. But as a father, as a husband, okay, and I know you everyone goes through difficult times, but as a father and a husband, what is something that you do to keep yourself mentally strong, so that you're the rock of the family, man? I mean, everybody's looking up to you for direction. How do you keep yourself that rock? How do you keep yourself going, and being the person that everyone can lean on? How do you manage to do that?
Yeah, I'll tell you. So I'll tell you the short version, because I know it's already 7:45 and you told me to shut up at 45 minutes. But
you can talk as long as you want, sir. Don't you worry about that.
First of all, I appreciate all the nice comments and everything too that are popping up, by the way, on Instagram. So first of all, just so you know, everybody has been through something. Everybody's always going through something, and everybody will go through something, because that's how we learn and grow. But to answer your question, for me personally, I have a powerful morning routine that I do, and also have a powerful evening routine that I do. It works with my subconscious mind. It's very simple. It's not hard, but I have a set routine of things that I do. Everything from asking myself what the best thing was that happened the day prior, thinking of 5 things, reading off my goals in an affirmative manner, like as if they've already happened within the first 20 minutes, because that's when your subconscious mind is most open to suggestion. And I also read those same goals just before I go to bed, so that way my subconscious mind has all night long to work on them. But I read them in a manner that tricks my subconscious mind as if it's already happened. Thank you for this. Because again, when you're asleep or when you're barely waking up, your mind doesn't know the difference. It will only act like a program on the suggestions you put into your subconscious mind. So really, I'm just barely touching on it now, but to answer your question, Nick, I keep myself strong mostly with my routine in the morning, routine in the evening. Physical fitness also makes a big part of it because, you get out there, you get pumped up and you start feeling like you hear the music cranking, you're on your run, start feeling like, okay, you know what? I can get through this. Along with time management. I'm a bit of a time management geek. So I can squeeze time out of a block of wood. So doing that and ironing out time to be able to spend with my kid, exercise, do all the things I want to do. That's time management's the key. And they're people like to throw the time around there, like time management phrase around there, like it's easy, but there's an art to it. Your body's stronger at certain times of the days. We all go through these things called energy cycles. So certain times of the day are better for doing some things. Other times of the day are better for doing other things. So a combination to answer your question, Nick, morning, evening routine, along with a very strict time management rules that I follow.
You're a legend. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
man. Thank you.
I again, I listen to you. I can listen to you all day, and
thanks, buddy.
I'm blessed to call you a friend of mine. I know I can call on you at any time. I love getting messages from you and hearing from you and getting your information. And I know that people on Instagram love to listen to you, and it's legendary. I'm thankful for having you on and your friendship with you and your wife Carolyn and Coraline. I mean, we had a lovely, people don't know, we had a lovely Thanksgiving together just over the weekend. American Thanksgiving, we put together a lovely time. Absolutely amazing time, ladies and gentlemen. And Max, I can't thank you. Oh, Max, you have Dan, you have one question. If you have one question, Dan, let's hear it. I want you. You have a couple of seconds to get it in, or we're moving on, brother. Because I don't want to keep everyone here too late. But I am value that we only get one. Oh, thanks, Dan. We only get Max every now and then. What's on my lip, ladies and gentlemen? It is Movember for Nick's mustache going on right here. Thanks, Dan. He likes to give me a hard time, right? But yes, this is my Movember. It's pretty weak, but we shaved it off by mistake twice already. So we're giving it a crack as we go, ladies and gentlemen. Raising money for men's mental health. It's something I hold dear to me, Max. I know you do. I've been at speaking events when you've spoken at them for men's mental health. Absolutely amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Max or you want to get together and have a conversation with him, follow him on Instagram. It's at Life Coach 8. It's right below his website, lifecoach8.net. You can have him on. I have him tagged in Facebook on here. He's in this HAL group. He's a member of Frankshin. He's here with us, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. Max, thank you very much for coming along. You're a legend, brother. I love talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. I truly appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words, Nick. Awesome.
You're a man. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to have a conversation with Max. Reach out to him. Have a conversation, because a gentleman like this, I knew when I met him day one and invited you after talking to you on the phone for 20 minutes. I invited you into my life. And I told him, I said, this is the type of person you have to be around, ladies and gentlemen. You need to be surrounded by people like Max, okay? People like this are the people that are going to bring your life to the next level. This is why I have people like this in my life. Dan, don't feel left out. I keep you around for that same reason, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Tuesday Night Mindset Mental Health, every Tuesday at 7 o'clock here in the Frankshin Facebook page, HAL YouTube page, and live tonight on Instagram. That's how exciting this is. But ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night we have a Fit Club in the park. Well, Wednesday workout, 6:30 to 7:30. If you have more questions, information, message us. And then, of course, boot camp on Sunday, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. If you have any questions, Max, do you have anything else you'd like to wrap us up on? Feel free.
Hey, feel free to reach out to me anytime, everybody. I'm on all the social media platforms. I'm pretty easy to find. I even have a TikTok account these days because somebody advised me to get a TikTok account. I find it a bit funny, but I'm easy to find on social media. So reach out to me anytime. Thank you all so much for the kind comments that I've been seeing popping up. And and joining us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was great to have you. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said, do please reach out. Well, I'll leave everyone there. Facebook, Insta. We will see you all guys soon. YouTube, hanging loose. We'll talk soon. Thanks.